8 by 12. It's quite large, and this is all you need for the base. Hello, I'm English Bob. Now I'm working on my own, so I've got no one with me today, but I'm working on my own. So I'm going to build the whole thing from start to finish, from scratch, by myself. And this is how I do it. Now for me, it's the easiest way possible, and it's the cheapest way possible. So the very cheapest and the very easiest, and this is how I do it. There's loads of ways to build a shed, build a base, put posts in, stuff like that. But I've been doing it for 40 years, so, you know, I think I know what I'm talking about, and this is how I do it. I've cut 12 of these fence posts. I've dug a hole. So what I've done, I put bricks down there. I put 2 bricks. Bang them down. Good hard bang. Chuck a kettle of water in there. Right. Pour the water in. That's as good as you're going to get it, really. And check the other side. So you got your first post in, there you go. And that's been about 10-15 minutes now. So while you're waiting for that to dry, it won't take much longer, about another 10 minutes. So like 25-30 minutes, half hour. Time to get a cup of tea. Can't be a nice cup of tea. And when you finish your tea, then that'll be set, and then you can work off the other posts. And I'm going to be putting in 12 posts today. So now the first post is definitely in. It's definitely concrete. It's been about an hour. So I've attached a string. You don't really need a big level. I've got my little level, but that's all you need. So I attached a piece of string, whatever you got, and just clip it to the top of this post. So it's not pulling the post. So just clip it in on the top of the post. That's right on the top, and then get your line where you want to put the back of the shed or the front, whatever, and then just clip it beyond the post to that one. Now that's roughly where I want it. By the time I get the brick in there, I've got to put a couple of bricks. By the time I get the brick in, that'll be the right height, so that'll be completely level. There's the line, and that back fence is completely level anyway, because I've just checked it. So if you run that string along the same angle as that back fence, then you're onto a winner. You're onto a winner, babe. I'm doing this in October in the UK. Sorry, November in the UK, because that's when the ground's softest. So I'm kneeling so I don't get damp. Now when you're banging these bricks down, just use the post that you're going to put in and get them roughly. They don't have to be completely level, but just get them roughly. Bed them in. Now I've gone down to the clay. Kent's got a lot of clay soils, so put them there. Look at that. That is completely level. Now that's roughly where I want it, but let's see if it's exact. It's got to be exact. This is the 4 corner posts are the most crucial. So my floor joists are 360, 3.6 metre, 3.6 metre. Spot on. Don't matter if it's slightly less. You don't want to be more, but if anything, it can be just slightly less. So the edge of that post is just slightly less 360. So I know when I put my first floor joist in there, on the outside of this wood, then it's going to be exactly the right size. I won't have to cut anything off. Now when you're pouring the concrete in, you want to mark where the post is going to go. So you're not going to lose that mark, and it's being exactly the right position. That's the second post in. Can you see it? It's all looking nice and level. Absolutely perfect job. Top tip coming up. If you haven't got a level and you're putting in a post, you can line it up with any building, any structure, any window. Those windows over there, they're completely vertical. So you can line any post up with that window, the edge of the building, any building, even as far as what you can see, as long as it's lined up, the post is lined up, you don't need a level. It's the same with putting in a shed. If you want to get the string straight, you don't need a large level. Just measure any building where you're building the shed, and that's the level, and so you line the string up with the building. That is your top tip of today. Easy to hold the post now, and that's completely upright, so I can get pouring with my cement. Once you've got your 4 corners on, you can then use this line. So you put it over the top of that one, and that will give you your level. And these are brilliant, these things. These are brilliant. I made that on my metalworking machine. So, welded it. You've got your top level, now you want to get the side level. So you want it in line with both posts. So you've put your string there. So now you want, because if you're on your own, this is how you do it on your own, see? So now you want to put a lump of wood, any old bit of wood, roughly where the line is. Press it down. It's kind of roughly there. And then you put your post in, and because this is if you're on your own. Now don't forget I'm measuring the side level, not the top level. So that's it. So now that's held it in place, and you can put your markings on each side if you want, so it don't move when you're pouring in the plaster. This is what I've done so far. It's going to be 12 feet by 8 feet. So I've got in my corner posts, I've got my middle posts each end, so I've got to put in one post there, and one post there, and one post about there. I'll put the joists in place. I haven't fixed it yet, just to see, and I'm absolutely delighted with that, because you can't even get a fag paper, as we say in Britain. We can't even get a fag paper between that post, and that's how much, just slightly too much, but that can be cut off anyway, so it don't matter about that. That's all the posts in. It's been a day since I put the last post in, so it's all set. Time to put the earth back. And then just tread it down. Make sure it's all nice and solid. Now this is the damp-proof membrane, and I'm cutting 12 of these strips, and it will provide a complete waterproof and damp-proof membrane for this. So that's going to go there, and that's going to go there. So you need it on top and wherever this wood touches there, the beams. And there's no way any water will ever get to the floor using this method. And I'm using these coach bolts, which I'm doing. And a good tip is to make sure you buy a brand new drill. This is a 10 mil bolts, 10 mil. And look how easy, it's a cordless drill. It's only a cheap one, but look how easy it goes through this wood. It's through the wood already. Look how easy that was. Got the first one in. And what I've done, I've put a screw in each one and a bolt in each one. And then just tighten it up. £5 o'clock in the winter here in the UK, and I'm working at night. I've got one of these LED bright lights. Cheap and cheap to run as well. When you're making the joists, so this is going to be my first joist. Make sure that it's very tight. So it's got to be so tight that you have to end up tapping it into place. So I'm using these joist hangers to make the joists. And what it's best to do, you measure your joist, put it on your bench, and then offer up and put on the joist hangers on first. So get them dead on the ends. And then put them on, and then you're ready to put them on. Now when I've done this, I could have just made sure that the joists go underneath each board, but I made it look, I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but you know, it don't really matter. So what you do, as long as you get a piece of wood under there, make it tight, measure it tight there to there, then as I've done here, just put a piece of wood in there. And then what that does is that when you screw when you match the two boards up, they completely match up and they don't overlap because they're both screwed to the same piece of wood. So when you screw it up, that'll bring it completely tight up against the wood. Then screwed the joist hangers on to the joist, but not the main joist yet. I've yet to put in screws. But before I do that, I'll make sure that it's exactly level, and it's not. So that's to come. That's exact. Now you've got to do it this way as well. Now it's not over there. So it's got to come at the top. That's it. Make sure it's flat. This is how tight you want to get it in. And always use a piece of wood on top to protect the joist. Almost done, just the last sheet to put on, and this is how it looks underneath them two sheets there. So it's all solid, all completely square. All completely square. Got joist hangers on there, and it's got a screw in there. So all screwed up, all joist hang it up. There's, so all that's left is to put the final, screw the final sheet down. There we are. And here we go underneath. That's what it looks like underneath, folks. So here we go. Thanks for watching, everyone. It's 8 times 12 feet, solid wood base, plenty of air underneath it. It's going to last years and years on 12 posts stuck in the ground. It'll take anything, log cabin, office, building, whatever you like to put it in your garden. Ta-da!